Hey guys, welcome back. I just first off wanted to take a couple minutes or seconds and thank the people who have liked, subscribed, and commented. I could really use them all. I really like the comments because you get different ideas from people, and it kind of gets, if somebody wants to come in and ask a question, they can get a couple different viewpoints, decides what's best for them. So keep that up. Today, as I've been promising for a few weeks, I'm going to go through some of the tools and supplies that I have and use. And this will be different based on who you are, what you do. It's a lot of what do you need and what are your preferences. So you do not need what I have. You don't even have to use the brands I have, obviously. This is just what I like and what I prefer. I'm going to go over kind of the tools that I keep in my little box that goes over to my parents' house or even out in the yard. So you're not running back and forth to the garage. I'm also going to go through what's in the shop and, office, because I do have some in here now. Before I moved, everything was in the shop. So stay tuned. We'll go through it, have a little bit of fun, and if you like it, please like and subscribe. I could really use it. Thank you. All right, let's get into it. As you can see, my mouse pad hasn't made it to the wash machine. If somebody wants to come and do that for me, that would be great. But my first tool, it's one that everybody's seen before. It's my pointer, also known as my Klein 4-in-1 screwdriver. It's my go-to tool. It's got small Phillips and large slotted and large Phillips. Slotted flathead. It's the perfect little tool. I've also got one that's hex. Same setup, it's just hex on each side. That's sitting outside somewhere. When we walk out there, I'll see if I can find it. I've showed this one off before. I'll post a link to it for Amazon. But this is great for the Phoenix connectors. You got your small screwdriver to get into the Phoenix connectors. Some of the power supplies it works on. Other ones you have to get the bigger screwdrivers. So that's one of my favorites. And I love Klein tools. I like their quality. I worked in the two-way radio industry, and that's pretty much all we used was Klein. In addition to my little Klein screwdriver, I have a assortment of regular screwdrivers. They're basically stuff I've picked up here and there, nothing too crazy. Some Craftsman, whatever brand. Some are from old electronics kits when I was in school. Some might say I have a screwdriver problem. I've actually got more in the box and probably more outside. Again, they're just nice to have around, in case my Klein gets lost. I also picked up, and something I think is important, saves your fingers, is pixel pushing pliers. These I believe I got from Wired Watts. And basically your pixel slides in here and you can push it into a coral prop or whatever you need it to push into. Spring loaded. Made in China. I think these were like 15, 16 bucks, and at first I didn't figure I needed it. Yeah, after doing my first two props and my hand cramping up, and I got them. And they work great. I think you can find them on eBay. Most pixel sellers have them. Wired Watts has them. So you can get them on AliExpress too. They're a nice thing to have around. Scissors. Always got scissors around, and outside somewhere I've actually got a much bigger and nicer set, but you can cut strip when you need to, pixel strips, or even just plastic strips for the house or for mega trees. So they're handy to have around. And it's just a cheap brand. I don't even know where I got it from. Of course, made in China. Wire stripper. I like my Klein tools, and I got the Klein wire stripper. One of my favorites. I actually have two. One's in a toolbox outside. These come in handy at pretty much all times. They go from 18 gauge down to 10 gauge. So this is, wire stripper is one of the must-haves. Needle nose pliers. But wait, there's more. Got my regular needle nose. This is just a cheap one that I got, well, obviously for 50 cents. And as you watch more of me, you might find out I'm terrible at taking tags off, but I have others outside in my tool bag. Nice kind of a flat end screwdriver, pliers, and a mini needle nose. Again, it's just preference of what I have. Don't need 3 screwdrivers, obviously. Why did I call it a screwdriver again? Don't need 3 pliers, obviously. Cutters is also a very important thing to have. I've got a nice flush cutters. These are great for cutting wire ties off, nice and flush, but I use them for a lot of just regular wire cutting. I gotta remember to keep my stuff here in the camera. And in a regular diagonal cutter, I don't need anything really big. We're not cutting anything big, so the biggest I cut is 18 gauge wire, so all this works perfectly. Alright, on to some of the soldering supplies I have in there. I don't have a portable soldering unit yet. I was looking at the Milwaukee ones, but haven't bought it. But I do have the solder sucker. I've got the soldering iron out in the garage. So it's a nice little spring-loaded, sucks up your solder. It's nice to have because we do a lot of soldering in this. There is also soldering braid that you can get, and I don't have any in here right now. That also works very nice. The solder just kind of seeps up the braid. One of the other things I got is CA glue. Obviously, use it in 3D prints. I've used it in cases outside when I was putting a P10 panel in just to kind of keep it in place. So it's very handy. This brand is Starbond. It's one of the better brands that you can get, and it's got a medium open time. You use it in a lot of woodworking too. Another thing I find very useful and important is a label maker. And when we're making the control boxes, it's good to label what pigtail comes out of what port, what your string of lights is for if you take them down, you know, so you can match it up. Everything, it's good to have it all labeled. So this is just a little Dymo, not a bad little machine. I think it was like 30 or 40 bucks. Use 6 AA batteries or a power supply. I opt for the 6 AA batteries, but I should probably get a power supply in addition. I don't have it in here. Matter of fact, I don't even think it's here, but I have a nice little Fluke multimeter. Multimeter is great. You know, you got that thing while lights don't turn on. Well, do we have power? It works great. Works great for checking continuity. So I have a portable one that I take around with me. And the last thing I have is the 3D printer, and let me reorient the camera. This is actually a recent buy. I did a video on the bed replacement on it. The Anycubic Mega S 3D printer. It's got a couple little upgrades to it, and I'm working on more, and maybe I'll put a video on. I'm thinking about upgrading the carriage on it. So, but I got that Logitech camera that was on the unboxing video. I got that set up for some time lapses, but the thing works pretty well. It takes some tinkering with, but with my limited knowledge, it's coming along quite well, and I'm learning a lot about it. Maybe one of the next videos I'll do a kind of little my impressions of it and an overview of it. There are a few out there, but I'll add mine to the mix. So now that we got the tools down, at least in here, we'll move the camera again. Some of the supplies I have. I keep, because I have a Falcon controller, I have the Falcon F16 V3. I keep one of the smart differential receivers on hand. There we go. Just in case, or in case I need it. Wire-wise, I have 16 gauge wire. Sorry, this is 18 gauge. 18 gauge wire. I'm out of red actually, but I have the black, and I use this for the most part for anything that's not coming directly off the power supply. If I'm doing jumpers for a little bit of power injection through a fuse block, I'll use that. Then I have the 16 gauge wire, and the 16 gauge wire is what I power the controllers from, and I do have the red and black. Being that you got a little bit of extra juice coming from the power supply to the controller, I go thicker, and I'm pretty sure this is a common thing. Let's see what else we got sitting over here. All right, here's 3 things in one. See if we can get them separated. Can't do it right now. 3 things in one. So the first thing we have here is Raspberry Pi, and in this case, this is a Raspberry Pi 3. I actually forgot I had it. So it's got the 4 USB ports, network. This one doesn't have Wi-Fi. On top of it, I've got Hanson Electronics P10 panel controller. I've also got a color light card somewhere, but I don't like it. So, controller for the P10 panels. And I've got the Sound Blaster USB adapter. This actually is better than audio that comes out of the Pi, and I do run my lights to music. Simple USB, Pi automatically sees it, plug in your FM transmitter, good to go. With the P10 panels, obviously it's good to have power cables for it and the data cable for it. Camera got a little goofy there, so fixed it. Another thing I have is I keep some, and I've got more of it on a roll outside. I've got some 18 gauge 3-core wire for making jumpers as I need to, or extending anything. Obviously, we have the male and female X connectors that I keep in the box. Electrical tape. This is actually pretty crap quality. It's good to have better quality, but this is what I have in there right now. It was laying around. Marker goes back to labeling. Nice to have around. And that's about it. Let's go take a look at the little pieces I have in the box. Alright, the box I keep everything in is the Husky cantilever toolbox. It's 22-inch. It's got the top storage, and then it's got the bottom storage. You can see I've got a mess of wires there. On top, it's got lots of room for different pieces, parts. You can see I got an extra marker in here. I've got more connectors. Obviously, we got spare pixels. More spare pixels. Extra Phoenix connectors, because I tend to lose them. I keep some extra caps around. These I actually bought when I first started out. It's good to keep water out on the ends of lights that you're not connecting anything to. Can I get at it? I got some spares for connector screw-on things. I'm drawing a blank on what it is. Leave it in the comments if you want to remind me. The caps, I actually started 3D printing them. So I've got a whole bunch here in the drawer somewhere. I've got some white and I've got some black. I have got some PG7 cable glands. put these in the box. You stick your, this is good for the pigtails, the X-Connect pigtails. Keeps it watertight. This is not part of lighting. Solder sleeves. I do use solder sleeves a lot, especially when I'm not in the shop. Very nice. Stick the wire in, heat it up. The solder right here in the middle melts, gives you a nice tight waterproof connection, and then I put shrink tube on it. I'm actually getting low. I gotta get more. One thing I would like to get more of is on these cables there is a little O-ring, and now I can't find the cable. But there's a little O-ring to keep it watertight. I'd like to get more of those. Not like, I need to. Obviously, more pixels. PG9 cable glands for power cords. I keep some clips for wire frames, so I can build wire frames with pixels. I do have a little Dig Uno made by Intermittent Tech. It's got the ESP32 on it. Then it's got ports back here for your pixels, and I just have a connector hit on it. So ESP32 is a Wi-Fi chip, so it is Wi-Fi enabled. 12 volt power. Great little thing to have. I use it a lot for testing. They are hard to get. They're constantly out of them. This is drawing a blank again. FM transmitter for Culp controller. I still got some work to do with that. Things just weren't working right. More screwdrivers. I've also got a bunch of Scotch locks. We'll slide this over right now. Bunch of Scotch locks. It's not really a permanent solution, but if you got to throw something together really quick at night, Scotch lock is nice and easy. Stick both your wires in, squeeze. They actually make a pliers for this to do it properly. I learned that this year. Would you look at that? More pixels. And cable glands for network. So we do a lot with networking. I actually don't have any network cable right now, but all these controllers and stuff network together. So it's good to have the cable gland to keep water infiltration at bay. And I think we've basically run out of what's in the box. I have spare light bulbs, but I don't use those anymore. This actually used to be for AC lights back before I got creative. Another thing I have a lot of sitting around, I started buying them, is PVC clips. And PVC clips screw to the house, and this size you fit 1/2 inch EMT to, or this one's PVC. 1/2 inch PVC to, and then you can mount the PVC to your house, and you can have pixels on it in a strip, or you can drill the pixels right into it. When I first did my parents' house, I bought these. They broke, so this was one of the main motivators to getting my 3D printer. I got a bunch of these in there. That pretty much wraps up what I have, you know, for miscellaneous little tools and parts to take with me. Give me a couple minutes and I'll meet you back in the shop. Alright, so we got everybody's first view of the garage, and as you can see, I'm still working on doing some organization. I got the CNC sitting back there. I've made a couple props off of that, but mostly that's been flags and cribbage boards. Bandsaw over there, very handy. Drill press, I actually have to get that in a better location because I want to start making some of those PVC lights I referred to. All right, and over here in this box, we have a Pixel to Things AC controller. So your pixel data comes in here and it actually controls AC lights. I'll put a link up in the corner so you can check out some videos on that. Above that is my parts storage, and this is where I've got test controllers, LED strips and connectors, fuses, soldering, all that different kind of good stuff. And then I have my fasteners, and I'm actually going to be building onto this storage. I'll probably add another fastener thing here I have in the house, and you know, maybe more down here. I just don't want to hit my head when I'm at the computer. So over here we've got spare ammo crate. I'll probably be building a controller out of this, and I'm going to make a video out of that. Yet more spare pixels, in addition to the 500 I have, 450, some sold. 12 volt power supply, variable current, variable voltage. BK Precision multimeter. It's really nice to have a dedicated bench multimeter. You're not searching for the other one. Node MCU. I actually used that when I started with Pixels. I may repurpose this for more home automation stuff. Traeger cup, because I like Traeger. The Weller soldering station. It's a really nice little setup. Temperature controlled, obviously. Comes with 2 points. Just nice and light and handy. That's a really good thing to have. Oh look, more pixels. Got the step bit for putting the holes for cable glands in boxes. Of course, a spare 12 volt power supply. This is one of 2. I think I got another one somewhere. Little box of shrink tube, which I want to get some more. I found some on AliExpress we're going to try. So look forward to an unboxing video there. And then miscellaneous cables. And of course a P10 panel sitting on the side. Network cables. More pixels in there. Jumpers. I got some pixel strip in there. Oh, and a little jig for making pixel strip a little bit easier. And that's about it out here. I mean, I got the solder, my 3D printed cable storage I have to fill up, but I'll see you back inside. Actually, I should show this off. It's upside down, but this is the Rosa Grand Wreath. 696 pixels on it. It was supposed to be used at my parents', but we just didn't have a chance, and now it's coming here. It's probably going to get put over a window. This will be controlled by that 4-port controller I was talking about. 1 port per 100 and some pixels, or 200. So, lit it up twice. It's beautiful. It'll look great. Definitely not going to have it at 100%. All right, well, that's basically everything that I use as of right now to do any type of light show, electronics, etc. There will be more coming. I'll have more props, more pixels coming. Like I said, I want to get those O-rings. I want to stock up on pigtails. So I might add on to the video, show what I get, maybe in an unboxing video. I know that kind of was a cross, or this video has kind of been a cross between a what do I use and, you know, a walkthrough. I apologize for the messy garage. It's a work in progress. I got to get some electrical out there, and I'll be building a controller again here soon now that I found this Raspberry Pi. That's great. The Culp controllers I have actually have the Beagle Bone Black on them, so we might be good to go there. Otherwise, I have not much else here. We'll go on through a little video. Maybe I'll do it tonight, maybe next week. My just initial impressions and the overview of my 3D printer and kind of where I want to go to next with that. It's a really fun journey. I enjoy learning about all this stuff. So, if you found any of this useful, again, like and subscribe. I could really use the extra help there. Trying to grow the channel, trying to reach out, help people. So, get more people interested. There's been a big boom in the lighting industry, and let's all go out and have some fun with it. You guys take care, and we'll see you next time.